Welcome back to a Gambling NFL podcast. This is Tackle for Loss, a New Zealand NFL gambling podcast where we talk about the NFL and gambling.
Yeah, that's it, man. You're joined with three amateurs right now. So you've got myself, Keith O'Donoghue.
Myself, Kerry Donahue.
Myself, Grayson Holland.
And this week is week 4. So, big week last week, boys.
It was.
It's kind of an understatement, really.
Yeah, there was a few games that really did not go the way I was thinking they were going to go. A few upsets, big endings to a few games, and I don't know, it was a weird week. It was a weird week for sure.
It was super strange. And so as is customary on the podcast, we'll kick this off with the buys and sells of the week, curated by myself. So these are things that I've found.
What's a buy and sell, Kiefer? Please explain.
So a buy and sell is I'm going to give you a sentence, and you can basically buy that or sell that. You either agree with it, you don't agree with it. These are just things I found throughout the week of NFL.
You like it, you don't like it, you want it, you don't want it, you're buying it, you're selling it.
That's exactly it. So,
what if I just hire it for a short period of time?
well, let's get into them, and you can decide if you just sort of hire these instead. So my first one of the week is a Giants rookie wide receiver called OBJ once caught a catch that became legendary.
I know where this is going.
Is George Pickens' one-handed catch against the Browns more legendary?
I'm buying it.
Buying it?
I'm buying it. No, it's tough. Don't wait, hold on. I think it's so tough because OBJ's went for a touchdown.
Oh, that's fair.
I think
that's
the catch
fair.
itself is I don't know. He didn't look at the ball till the last fucking second. Like he was running, kind of barely getting his head around, and then he kind of eventually gets his head around, and his body's the wrong way, throws the arm back. It's nasty, man.
It's super nasty.
But obviously didn't go for a touchdown. But still, huge play. Huge play.
Very cool.
Selling.
You're selling? Buying that?
I think OBJ's like it's kind of already known. The fact that we have to compare it in the first place, like I don't know if it's gonna.
Well, that was kind
overcome
of
it.
That was kind of my thought when writing it. It's called the OBJ, right? You can't really beat the OBJ, but I saw that. Everyone would have seen that sick catch. Second one, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Will his stubbornness to keep Mitch Trubisky on the field rather than Kenny Pickett cost him that record?
Buying it, straight, no doubt. Buying it.
Buying it. It's
Tomlin's
instant.
losing
I'm
his
leasing
mind.
that one. I'm leasing that for a short period of time. Because my thing for that is like yes, I think we talked about it last week. He's being an idiot because he's not putting on Pickett and he's being stubborn, and everyone can see that it's not the right move.
Yeah.
However, that's not what's stopping this team from a losing record or winning record. You put Pickett in, I still think you have a losing record.
Sure.
I don't think that's going to make a huge difference, especially because it's his first year, obviously, if they did put Pickett in. But so I'll lease that one. I'll hire it for a short period of time.
We're never coming back to these either, by the way.
I know.
Yep. Okay. So, third buy and sell.
Yep.
Ken Dorsey of the Bills coaching staff loses his shit in the booth after the end of game. Will that become a more iconic gif than Tom Brady smashing tablets?
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
I think so.
Yeah.
The rage just kept going.
They had to cut away. Like
Well, the best thing is it's a hand that covers the camera.
It's not his hand.
No, it's some other one's
yeah.
some other dude's just
The funny
covering
thing
his
is,
ass.
what are you going to do when you try to smash it and throw shit around? Like, Tom Brady on the sideline, there's a whole sideline to throw shit on. But in the booth, there's just glass in front of you, you're at a desk. That's why you just keep throwing it and smashing it over and over again.
It was good, though, and
That was
I
funny.
assume everyone has seen that. Otherwise, if you haven't, go see that. So, fourth one. Cole Beasley DM'd Tom Brady to get his spot on the Bucs roster.
Did he really?
He really did. He DM'd him and said, "Hey, I'm keen to be on it."
Man.
Sorry. Cole Beasley DM'd Tom Brady to get a spot on the Bucs roster. He kept that first down drive alive with a diving catch, but was kind of underused in the rest of the game. With that being said, do you think if I DM'd Tom Brady, I could get a spot on the roster? Their receiver core is really weak.
how many drives could you keep alive? That's a real question.
More than Cole Beasley if I get action on the field, you know.
He's a big call.
It's a big call.
Yeah, I don't know.
You selling that one?
I'm selling that one.
I'm gonna wait. Like, I'm gonna wait till the stocks go up on that one. I think sell later for a profit.
We'll wait till more of the receivers get injured, and then maybe I'll get a shot.
Yeah, he might be desperate.
And then the last buy and sell of the week. Hurricane Ian has forced the Bucs to relocate this week to South Florida. there is even talks of the game being postponed or cancelled or moved or
Probably
whatever.
just move it. It's early enough.
They'll probably just move it, yeah. So, what do you think Tom Brady is more afraid of? Hurricane Ian or Hurricane Giselle?
I mean, for the fact that the man looks like he hasn't been eating for the last 2 to 3 weeks, like I think probably his wife.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really up with the play on the.
Are you afraid of women, Cree?
No, actually. I
All right, well, that is my buys and sells of the week, also known as the Hot Boy Hot Takes.
Okay.
Not going to be called that.
Real quickly, before we get into this week, can we talk about our locks of last week? Or do you want to do that later?
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. Let's talk of the locks of week 3.
So
Yeah.
at the end of the episode, everyone gets at least a maximum of 3 locks. You can just take one if you want, but these will be recorded, and you will have a record next to your name at the end of the season when it comes to these.
Yeah.
So
Shit.
Yeah.
I'll start with my lock. I took the Ravens -3 over the Pats. I said they were going to win by at least 10, and I think they got close to it or did it or whatever. But my lock came through easy money. If you took that one, you got your money. And then let's have a look here. Kiefer, you went for the Bills. What was it? Minus 5.5 against Dolphins.
Yeah.
Now that obviously didn't come through, did it?
No. And as soon as I said that, I was like, wow, that was actually
Because there's a bit of value on the board. There definitely was.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Missed out a little bit, but
Absolutely panicked, really.
And
Yeah, no, I'm gutted that lock didn't go through, but I do think on that day football did win because what a fucking game.
yeah. And then the last one we had was Grayson. Man, this one grinds my gears. Typical Grayson.
Interim mile, buddy. Interim mile. I still got it in, man.
Typical Grayson move. This one. He picked Bears -2.5, and they won by 3. So he won by 0.5 of a point.
And you know what?
Damn, you really Ken Dorset your paper there.
It still counts.
Yeah. So I'm 100%. Grayson's 100%, and you're 0-1.
Yeah,
Sucks to suck, right?
you might say I was tackled for loss.
Yeah.
Cool, moving on. So we're into this week. Let's kick it off.
Some interesting ones this week, eh?
There's definitely some interesting ones, and I will kick it off with the Thursday night game, which is Friday for us. I don't have the times up on my computer.
It was 6 a.m.
On Friday.
Oh, on Friday, 1:15. 1:20? 1:15.
I don't.
1:15.
1:15. There we go. So 1:15 on Friday, we have Bengals and Dolphins, which is one that I wanted to talk about. So we have the odds of Bengals at -3.5 and Dolphins at positive 3.5. This is going to be a really interesting game. The Dolphins went absolutely wild in their last 2 games. They are performing as the best Dolphins we have ever seen them as. On the other side, you've got the Bengals, who have actually kind of started to warm up now. I don't think they are as bad as they have been from the start, but they were up against 2 quite bad teams with the Jets, and they only kind of really scraped by there. So it's going to be super close. I'm going to probably lean towards the Dolphins win, even though big fan of the Bengals. Bengals are even wearing their whiteout uniform.
Yeah, that is cool.
And that is sick
Interesting,
as,
though.
but yeah.
Dolphins are plus 3.5. So
Yeah.
if they lose by field goal, you still win that.
Yes, yeah, I do.
I just want to, on the back of it, so you're taking Dolphins
I'm
plus
taking the
3.5.
Dolphins. There is injuries kind of all over, so I'm going to kind of say they cancel each other out almost.
Okay.
And Tua should be playing as far as I know. So, yeah, I want to take the Dolphins. On that one.
I'll jump on the back of that there because this is a really interesting one, and I think both these teams have glaring problems that maybe people aren't looking at or things that they aren't looking at. First of all, that Dolphins game against the Bills, they had half the time of possession as the Bills. Half of the possession, or half of what the Bills had as possession.
Yeah.
I think it ended up being like 38 minutes to 19 minutes. Tua had 72 completion rate. That's not too bad there. Miami didn't have a run game. They had no run game at all. But then again, neither really did the Bills. But Josh Allen, the Dolphins let Josh Allen have 400 passing yards against them. He had 400 passing yards. That's insane.
It's college stats, really.
With 0 interceptions. And then on the other side with the Bengals, I I think if you actually take away the score and look at the stats and look at the game, it was a pretty even game with the Jets. Yes, they won by I think maybe was it 13 or so, or 10-13, but it was a pretty even game. Joe Flacco didn't play great; he had 2 interceptions, but they had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles lost. They had almost the same passing yards, almost the same rushing yards, almost the same yards per play. If you look at those stats and take away the 2 interceptions that got thrown and take away the 2 fumbles that got lost, which is huge, then they played not much better than the Jets. I don't think they got actually as good as they deserve to be enabled. -3.5, they're favourites here. I think no chance. I'm taking Dolphins +3 all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's Dolphins 3.5. I don't care what type of helmet you wear. Like you can dress it up all you want. They're not doing great.
Yeah.
And pretty much to all your points, Joe Flacco didn't play great. The Bengals still didn't win. Like,
yeah.
They're not doing enough at the moment for like what they had at the end of last year.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
And the Dolphins are doing just enough to like they did enough to beat the Bills, and like the Bills were supposed to go undefeated. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Dolphins undefeated the rest of the year.
I don't think
jinxing it now.
No, jinxing it right now like we did last week. We'll jinx everyone out, so there will be no undefeated players.
That's fair. Yeah, so Tua is supposed to be back. He's limited in practice. Jalen Waddle's groin, and he's in limited practice as well.
Yeah, I don't think any of the injuries are that severe. It's still a little bit before the game.
Right, everyone Dolphins.
Everyone Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah, calling it Dolphins.
Next game?
Yeah. So next game we have is...
These are 6 a.m. games now on the Monday, eh?
Well, it changes up a little bit because we've got London games.
Oh, true.
So next game is actually the Saints and Vikings on Monday at 2:30 New Zealand time.
Jesus.
In the morning.
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah,
So 2:30 a.m. Yeah, no, it is. It is pretty rough.
Not watching that one.
You're not watching that?
No,
Oh, okay.
we'll
No, fair enough. Okay, so who wants to take it?
I mean, I'll start with this one as well. Vikings are -2.5 to the Saints +2, so Vikings a little bit of favouritism there. Cook might be out. He's still injured. I think it's day-to-day at the moment, but it's a shoulder injury, I think that it was. But even without Cook, and without Cook, I don't think it really matters. Their run game's really struggling at the moment. I can't remember who their coach was. Kevin O'Connell, I think now. Is that the coach?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, whoever it was, I think it's Kevin O'Connell, can't get anything going on offense with the run game, and the pass game doesn't look incredible. Justin Jefferson's doing well. But I'm not sold on this Vikings team, to be honest. They're supposed to be doing a lot better than they are. They're not looking great. And the Saints, they look like hot garbage against the Panthers. They look like absolute dog shit. Jameis did throw for 350. Threw for 350 yards, but had 2 interceptions, so it wasn't great. And then Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas went out injured in that game and didn't come back. So I don't know if they're going to be available. They do have a bit of time, so they might make it anyway. But I still think it's a pretty shit. I'm not sold on either of these teams. I don't like the Saints. I don't think they look very good, and the Vikings don't look as good as they should be. I'm still going Vikings on that, -2.5 on the Vikings.
I think the Saints got the better defense, so that's what I'm going to jump.
They lost to the Panthers.
I know, but I still think they've got a better defense.
Baker Mayfield.
I know.
Worst QB rating in the league.
I still think the Saints got a better defense than the Vikings. So I think on that fact, I reckon I'll take the Saints over the Vikings.
Damn, I'm definitely going Vikings. I think when they're cooking, they cook really well. Like, that is a dinner you want to eat again and again and again. You're going back for seconds. You're going back for thirds. But every team since after week one, I should say, has been able to shut down Justin Jefferson. And they haven't come up with an answer for that.
I don't know if it's really shut down. I think it's more...
I don't know. It is... I consider it kind of
damn ball, Kirk.
Yeah.
Damn, Kirk. Throw the ball, Kirk.
But it is kind of shutting him down and they're not being able to get it to him. And as much as we know Kirk Cousins doesn't function on prime time, this isn't a prime time game. This is a London game. It might as well be prime time.
Christ,
so there's also that going for it. But I just don't see the Saints getting it done, to be honest. So yeah, I'll go Vikings on that one.
All right, we're going to split decision then.
Split decision. Was that can we split decision on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do whatever you want, man.
Yeah, we don't all have to agree.
No, I mean, like, is it still a split decision if there's 3 of us?
Well, we're not all in consensus, so
I
yeah,
suppose it would be, yeah. No, good point. Next game is the Lions and Seahawks, and that is 6 a.m. New Zealand time on Monday.
Indeed.
So, I'll take this one.
Okay.
To use your note, though, the odds are Seahawks plus 4.5 and Lions minus 4.5.
Quite a big underdog then, Seahawks there.
Yeah, they are
decent
actually.
bit,
Which
at 4.5.
I imagine this is the first time this has ever happened for the Lions. And yeah, to steal your first note on our little notes thing here is Lions are a cool team.
I did say that. I did write that down.
Lions are a cool team, man. They're really cool. Dan Campbell regrets not going for it on the 4th. He's owned up to that one, which is which is crazy. But yeah, they're a cool team to watch. Their defense does struggle, but their offense looks strong. They're like a angry offense. They just keep going and going and going and going. And not Kirk Cousins, sorry.
Goff.
Jared Goff has the highest time before he has to throw the ball. Like that
O line,
O-line,
really comfortable in that pocket.
Yeah,
man.
that O-line is working.
Is there going to be an issue with a possible receiver down?
Who's down?
Amon-Ra.
He is possibly down. And Swift is out.
Swift is out.
So there is a couple of serious injuries. Jamal Williams, though, I think slots in really well.
He can definitely put on a show.
I don't really care about Swift, but yeah, if they lose Amon-Ra, that is massive because that is kind of their bread and butter offense. It's gonna be cool on the Seahawks side. The offense is looking nicer than anyone thought it would.
Yeah,
I mean, aside from you, who always believed in Geno,
I always will.
There's like maybe two other people who also believe that. But he's proven them wrong. Geno is doing well, and they're turning into a throw-first team. Everyone thought they'd be down and dirty run team, but they're seemingly slinging it.
Yeah.
Their run game is kind of average at the moment. It doesn't feel like it's being utilised. And the defense definitely needs work. It's definitely no Legion of Boom. But if I had to go a certain way, I'm just going with my heart on this one. I'm taking the Lions.
Christian?
I've got no allegiances here.
No.
So I'm just going to go with what I've seen, and it does come down to the health of the Lions team. If they're down those two players, I'm going Seahawks. So I'm going to stick with Seahawks.
You're going to stick with Seahawks?
Yeah.
All right. What have I written here? Yeah, Geno, absolutely slinging it. Don't bet against Primo Geno, as I say. The run defense fucking sucks, though, and our whole defense of the Seahawks needs to do a lot better. I think this game, actually, my lock of this game, not really a lock, but I'm saying betting the over on this game could actually go hard, and it could win a lot of money. Every single game the Lions in, all it is a slugfest. It's they just put up points on both sides of whoever they're playing, and there are Lions games that are literally just who can put up the most points.
There's two struggling defenses going.
Exactly, it's two defenses that are very average and two offenses that actually look pretty cool. I think Geno's definitely trusting the Seahawks more in the Seahawks offense. Like when he threw it up to DK in the end zone there for that touchdown, I think one of the only ones that they had of that game.
Yeah.
Threw it up for DK in the end zone, almost in double coverage, and DK went up and made the catch and brought it. It's just like he's finally seen that, trusting a little bit. He's hitting Lockett when he needs to hit Lockett, and the run game I think will get better and better now that Kenneth Walker is actually back in the squad, and they're going to use Rashad Penny and Kenneth Walker in a bit of a pass game, run game. I think it's going to be an absolute slugfest. Take the over off this game, but if I'm doing bets here, I'm doing Seahawks plus 4.5.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, next game we've got is a game that I believe you are interested in, Crew.
Yeah.
So next game is Steelers-Jets, and that's on the 6 o'clock game on the Monday as well.
Yeah, so on this one, Steelers are minus 3.5 favourites, and Jets are plus 3.5. I just want to start by saying I watched this game actually at work on the Friday last week. The Steelers game, Steelers-Browns. Holy fuck, the Steelers look like shit. They look horrible. I'm not kidding, man. They look like absolute dog shit. Without TJ Watt, they're 0-5 now, I think. Or maybe 0-6. They have a horrible fucking O-line. No run game at all, even with one of the best runners, Najee Harris, looking really good, looking strong. Looked good last year, and then they just got nothing going this year at all. We all know about what we think on Trubisky. Absolute dog shit. They are shit on offense and on defense at the moment. They're not like none of that. Neither side of the ball is good. Jets, don't get me wrong, the Jets don't look incredible either. Joe Flacco actually looks decent, doesn't look incredible. They had 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions that they lost. There's 4 turnovers that really shouldn't be happening in a professional game at that level. I think if they can tidy that up, they would have beat the Bengals. I think they have a similar game to the Browns and Steelers game, but with but I think it'll be a bit closer. I think it'll be a bit closer than that Browns Steelers. I'm taking Jets plus 3.5. I think Steelers look like absolute shit.
Yeah, I think you've kind of summed it up for me at least. I do like some of the pieces in the Steelers. I just think overall it's not really working. I think this might be the last week for Joe Flacco, which will be interesting to see what happens there. But I don't know. It is a tricky one for me. It is super tricky. But I'm kind of leaning towards Jets. I've just got a bit more of a soft spot for them. I'm seemingly voting for my heart with my heart this week. So.
That never made money.
That's how gambling works.
Yeah.
Especially when you lose, it crushes even more. Steelers haven't done anything. Oh yeah, they've just looked ass. Jets, they've had some flourishes here and there, so I think that's why it feels a bit safer to bet on them, even though they aren't doing that great. But they've had those flourishes that the Steelers just haven't had. So again, I'm going to join you on the Jets plus 3.5.
Nice.
Awesome. That's a nice and easy one. So next game, we have the Giants, Bears at Giants, I should say. Also 6 a.m. game. And looks like you've got some interesting things to say about this one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Giants. I really do. Daniel Jones actually looks pretty decent at the moment. I'm really actually impressed with Daniel Jones and how he's playing.
It's hard to say, isn't it?
It is hard to say. I never thought I would.
When it comes out your mouth.
I didn't think I'd be saying that this year, but I'm actually pretty impressed with Daniel Jones and how he looks at the moment, especially last game against an incredible fucking defense by the Cowboys. And when Daniel Jones was given a little bit of time to throw, he looked sharp, he looked good, making good decisions as well. It was just the fact that he was pressured pretty much every single play of the game, had to run out of the pocket. And the interesting thing was, for as many pressures that he got and how little time he had, he managed to stop the sack and not get sacked so many times in that game. It was impressive to see. And he ran a decent bit. He looked good. I'm pretty sure he actually got, I think, 7 of their first downs by running. I'm really impressed with him, man. And Saquon looks good. Saquon looks like Saquon, getting a bit of confidence back. And Giants obviously minus 3.5 favourites here. We'll switch over to the Bears. I think the Bears actually look pretty shit at the moment. I was really hoping for a bounce back game last game, but they really didn't. And I was hoping Justin Fields would step up and do a bit better, but he didn't. He had less than 50% completion rating. That is abysmal. That's horrible. NFL standard is like 65 at least, and this guy's doing less than 50%. Khalil Herbert came in, obviously no Montgomery. Herbert's going to be in doing well. He does okay. He looks alright. And they allowed 5 sacks in that last game that the Bears had. I'm really not liking the Bears, to be honest. They've got so many problems that I think they need to work on. I think Giants minus 3.5. I think Giants look really good at the moment, even though they lost that game, and I'm taking Giants minus 3.5.
Yeah, for sure. I'm disappointed with the Bears this year. Like, I was kind of hoping for a bit of a bounce back year, even though in the off season they didn't go out and do anything for Justin Fields. But it looks like, to be honest, Justin Fields is regressing more than he is improving. Towards the end of last year, he was actually starting to, cook a little bit, but I don't know. It's just not gone well. The Giants, they do look good. I'm a bit scared about their wide receiver core. Yeah, they don't have a good wide receiver core.
We haven't seen Kadarius Toney or Kenny Golladay properly yet. I don't know what's going on with those.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on up there, but Saquon's looking awesome this year, and Daniel Jones he's a bit of a warrior, actually. To be honest, he's handling the pressure well. He's running, and he's running hard when he needs to. I'm going Giants all the way on this one.
I thought the script.
Oh, shit.
My gosh.
Shit. Have we agreed on anything yet?
Yeah, a couple.
But I just feel that this could be a game the Giants could actually could lose.
At home?
At home.
Yep.
Okay.
Because New York tends to hate themselves when it comes to football.
You just voted for the other New York team.
It's New Jersey. It's just got the New York name, but it's Jersey. I think the Bears with Herbert and the run game could do enough, even though without Montgomery it's going to be a bit of a struggle. But I think they just need to get some of their pieces that they haven't been using. Just get them going. Get Mooney going. He's a good wide receiver, and they just haven't been using it. Fields, he needs to make some other decisions when it comes to getting pressured. He needs to take a little bit of time, not just instantly try to run out of the pocket. Sure, he's got the legs, but don't rely on it.
Do some more reads.
Yeah, read the field a bit more.
That's the thing.
He's got an extra second before he has to move.
Going through his progressions was never his strong suit, and that's why a lot of teams didn't like him. He didn't go through his progressions. He didn't read well. He just kind of went on instinct, which is good at times, but it doesn't Can't carry you all the way
could
through the
turn
NFL.
around against the Giants, even though the Giants have got a
That's
solid
what I said
defense.
last week, and I learned
Well, this is the week the Giants lose their winning streak. That's what I'm going on.
Nice. All right. Next game, also a 6 a.m. game on Monday, is Titans at Colts.
Yeah, I don't like this game at all.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't highlighted which team I'm taking. I've got it sitting here.
Really?
I still don't know. I want to hear from you
So-
guys because I have no idea.
For the audience, Titans are plus 3.5 and Colts are minus 3.5. I'm going Titans.
Who's starting with this? Is it great? Isn't it Gray's one or is it weird?
No.
No one.
Yeah, no
one's
one's chosen.
No
So
one wanted to
God.
take this one.
I'll take it. I'll go Titans. The note here is still not convinced about this Titans team.
He's reading
And
my
I'm-
notes.
Yeah, I'm reading your notes. And I agree with it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
But I'm more convinced about them than I am the Colts.
Well, you get shut out by the Jags one week and then go and beat the Chiefs the next week. I don't understand.
Yeah, but that Chiefs...
The Chiefs looked good. They didn't look bad.
No, you're absolutely right. And the Colts... The Colts' defense is what kind of won that game. And yeah, it can do it again. But I just think... I don't know. I think the Titans are just the better, more well-rounded team than the Colts. But
Okay.
I could totally see the Colts coming through and doing it. I mean, they could be warming up, but I don't know. I don't like it.
In fact, I'm out of mind. I'm going the other way. I'm going Colts.
Okay.
Because of the Colts' defense. They've always had a solid defense. Again, it's the same this year. I think they'll be able to shut down what the Titans have going. It's been shown that defenses can shut down Derrick Henry, and it forces Tannehill to make some pressure decisions, which leads to fuck-ups.
Man, Henry has not looked good this year. I'm just going to
No,
say
not
it
at
now.
all.
He's not performing anywhere near he should be. I get he was injured. Obviously, he's come back from that, but...
I don't know. I thought he had a bit of juice last game.
Nah, not really. I mean, not as much as Derrick Henry caliber running back should be, right?
Yeah.
I think he had as
the
much
whole-
juice as a next running back.
Yeah.
He's kind of over-promised, under-delivered this season.
Yeah.
So-
Anyone who took him in the first round of their fantasy league is definitely annoyed right now.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Ryan's trying to shake off the
Retirement?
curse of the Falcon. Because obviously there's always issues with Matt Ryan, but last week he seemed to do okay. The O-line did allow sacks, but I think in this matchup, I reckon it's going to go the Colts' way.
Yeah, I'm joining you there. I don't really have much to say that everyone else hasn't said already. I don't like this matchup at all.
Sweet, good chat.
I don't like this matchup at all, to be honest. And I'm going to go Colts minus 2. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
No,
avoid it.
that's...
Avoid it.
Yeah, avoid this one. Avoid this at all
Yeah,
costs.
absolutely.
Unless
I
you
mean...
guys know something I don't, let me know.
Okay, so next game is Chargers at Texans.
Okay, what were you saying about this one? You had something to say about
Yeah, I
this
had something to say about this one. And
Real
I
high intelligence opinions, I think.
really high challenge opinion, which is I don't think this game is going to be as much of a blowout as people think it's going to be. I don't think anyone sat here and saw Chargers and Texans and thought it would be as close as it's going to be. The Chargers are missing 5 Pro Bowlers on their team. They're out.
one. Who? Rashawn Slater.
Keenan Allen,
Ken Allen's back.
Bosa,
Bose is gone, yep.
I mean a couple of others that I can't remember.
Yeah.
So they're missing a few. You've got Justin Herbert, who is clearly still injured on the field. He just seems a bit more hesitant than usual, not slinging it as hard, not running it as hard. They got blown out by the Jaguars, and that's not really a slight on the Jaguars. They're looking like a much better team this year. We'll, I guess, get to that, but it just didn't look good at all. They have no run game. A lot of those pro bowlers came from the defensive side, and so they're losing their solid defense that they have. It's just a very weakened team, and it's super disappointing. On the other side, Texans don't look good, but they are relatively competent. They are the worst team in the NFL. I still think the Chargers are going to win it, but it's just much more of a closer game than I think it's going to be.
So who are you taking then?
I'm still taking the Chargers.
Chargers minus 5.5?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Chargers are still going to win it. Also, just on a note with the Chargers, what the coaching staff was thinking, letting Justin Herbert play definitely the last 2 minutes, but the last quarter of that game, you're being blown out. There's nothing you can really do about that. Take your injured QB
What was
off.
the final score of that?
I'll look that up for you, but that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Grayson, what do you
got? Even without the personnel that they're obviously out to injury, I reckon Chargers have got the Texans easy. The Texans haven't looked that great all season. They've been doing okay, but against subpar teams, I'd say.
Yeah.
They haven't shown anything that just makes me want to go. Actually, this Chargers team, which does look strong, even though there's been some issues and injuries, I still don't think they can beat them. They lost to the Bears. I'm just gonna go Chargers -5.5.
Yeah, no, I like that too. I don't think the Texans are anywhere near good enough to win this game at all. They completed 3 out of the 12 third downs. A horrible ratio there. You can't... and the only thing that shows, not only one, that they're not completing third downs, but they're not getting close enough on first and second down. To get that, every team has a decent running back, right? You get to fucking third and 2, third and 3, you're most likely going to be able to punch that through with a running back or at least with an RPO to get guys thinking it's a run play. So I think that shows a lot for that team, the fact that they can't get any or barely any third downs going.
Did that barely. They lost to the Bears.
They did. They got absolutely dominated in the run game, and obviously going against Eckler now. I think if they can get Eckler going, which they haven't been, I'm really confused where the Chargers run game's been. But if they can get Eckler going against this Texans team, I think they're going to dominate. Exactly. They lost to a really shit looking Bears. I'm taking Chargers -5.5.
Yep, no, fair enough. To answer your question, though, it was 38-10 to the Jaguars.
Jeez. I think that, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was just really disappointed, and apparently...
I think that's just because the Jags are good.
I think, well, we'll get to that. But I think you're right.
We'll talk about that.
I think that's a spoiler alert. So the next game is Browns at Falcons.
And what's this one?
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Falcons, they're doing okay. They've got Cordell Patterson doing a lot of the work for them.
Well, he's an absolute workhorse.
Marcus Mariota, as we said last week, not exactly a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's not doing enough to help the team out. They haven't really got some of the key players going, aka Pitts. The Browns, if they can sort out their run game and just run it through the Falcons, I think that's going to be what's going to do it for them.
And how good did Jacoby Brisket look?
It sliced me off, some of that Jacoby Brisket.
Man, he looked good against that Steelers, man.
Jacob Brisket,
everything, they looked good.
So yeah, I think the Browns have it at -1.5.
Yeah, -1.5. So that's pretty even, to be honest. And I agree. I think Jacoby Brisket looks absolutely great. And they got the run game there. The Kareem Hunt and the Nick Chubb Kareem Hunt 1-2 combo they got going on, absolutely sick. The defense still has problems. They're obviously not, to a really shitty looking Steelers team, and it was close in the end there. A Steelers team that can't do fuck all on offense made it close. So I don't love their defense, and obviously, and that's what's another thing. So they had Jadeveon Clowney was injured last week. I don't know if he's back yet. Does anyone know if he's back?
I can find out.
I don't know if he's back.
And then also Myles Garrett got in a car crash.
Yeah, that was
today
insane.
Or yesterday.
Swerved to hit an animal, or to dodge an animal.
Right. So, but he's coming to hospital. I think he's going to be okay and play. It is a few days away. This game is, but that's not looking good for their defense as well. So, exactly, and the Falcons as well. They're just an okay looking team. They're okay. They're okay all around.
Yeah, Falcons are going to Falcon.
Yeah,
except for last week, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Did you ask for Clowney?
Yeah.
Questionable, no note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Falcons. I think it's going to go Browns.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's also going to go Browns. Falcons, to me, don't look as bad as what they kind of should be. I don't think Marcus Mariota is that bad of a QB. Me and Grayson disagree on that. But do I disagree enough to take the Falcons? No. I think the Browns look good. Jacoby's playing awesome. Their run game is awesome. Browns.
All right, all three there.
Yeah, all three Browns. Next up, Cowboys, Commanders. Commanders at Cowboys.
Should be a brief discussion on this one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Commanders are plus 3.5. Cowboys are
minus
-3.5.
3.5. I just want to
Yeah.
hammer home how brief a discussion this should be. And I'll
Go for it.
Dak might be back. That's a big point there.
Yeah.
Conversation over then, right?
Dak might be back. They've got the most sacks in the NFL with the defense. Their defense is fucking insanely strong.
Yeah.
They look really good. The offense is struggling a little bit, but obviously with no Schultz, no Gallup, no Dak, they're struggling. Gallup should be back maybe this week, maybe next week. Don't know, but Schultz should be back. Dak might be back. I think they're a really strong team. Commanders. What the fuck are the Commanders? Seriously. No points. We are Commanders. No points until the last quarter. One of them was a safety. And then a touchdown that either they missed a field goal or went for 2 and failed the 2, I think. The run game absolutely fucking sucks. They allowed 9 sacks in one game. 9 in one game. And now, so 9 in one game, and now they have to verse the team with the most pressures in a game this entire season. The Cowboys are going to absolutely put them in the fucking dirt. Carson Wentz does not have the skill to get away as a quarterback or delay. The O-line fucking sucks. They didn't score till the fourth quarter. Had to punt 8 times, I think.
Get the cart ready.
This is a Cowboys by a fucking million.
Yeah. So next game is Jaguars at Eagles. Jags plus 6.5. Eagles minus 6.5. This game, I reckon, is going to be the game of the week. It looks awesome. You've got the Jags who have come out of nowhere to become an awesome, awesome team. I mean, coming out of nowhere is a bit harsh because we could kind of see the pieces coming together. But yeah, they just look great. Eagles are probably still my Super Bowl favourites at the moment to be there. They are just absolute weapons. They went from... they've just really focused on the run game and the throwing game. They can do both now. It's absolutely wild. The defense looks kind of good on both teams. I'm just excited for the game. It's just going to be really good. It's not much of a hot take, but
I'm not convinced. I'm going the other way. So you're going. So yeah, what's your pick here?
So I'm going to get some more opinions in the mix.
Okay.
I was just looking up their roster on Google's, and like Marvin Jones' picture is nuts. It's literally just a mouth.
Just mouth.
Yeah, it's all
He's
mouth.
Malvin Jones.
It's Malvin Jones.
Malvin Jones.
I think it's a big margin. I do like the Jags as well, but I don't know if I'd like them that much.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I'm. Don't get me wrong. I think the Eagles look good. Jalen Hurts threw for 340 yards last game, 3 touchdowns.
Scott 600.
Scott 600. I think it's gonna be a cool game to watch. I really do. I think it's gonna be entertaining. But I'm not completely sold on the Eagles yet. I think their defense doesn't look incredible, and they're missing a few pieces here and there. I think Jalen Hurts carries that team, and we've seen what happens when he doesn't carry the team. That's my biggest problem.
Right.
If he doesn't carry the team and put a show on and play like a MVP player, then they struggle. I think that's their problem. And I think that, especially if you look at what happened last week with the Jags defense against that Chargers team, Jags defense started off solid against that against the Chargers team, and it set them up for the rest of the game. I think the Jags defense is definitely good enough to slow down that Eagles offense, and even if it's not to win the game, I think 6.5. I'm taking the Jags 6.5.
I think the Eagles' pass defense is good enough to slow down the Jags' pass tag, but I don't think their run defense is good enough.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, and I also don't think the Eagles' run game is very good at all. I'm not very impressed with that. And like I was saying, the run game for the Eagles, I'm not very impressed with. They got 2 runners that both are just pretty subpar, pretty below average.
I think they should be performing better than they are.
I mean, yeah, but also I haven't seen enough to think that they are going to do very well. I don't know. I think Eagles, they're good, but I don't think they're that good. I'm taking Jags. You guys going Eagles, eh?
Yeah, I'm going Eagles.
I just don't like the margin for the Jags. That's my problem.
You don't like the plus 6.5?
No.
You think it needs to be more?
Well,
I think that's like the highest one this week, 6.5. I think it is. Looks like it. No, almost. Packers one's more. But I mean, I'm taking 6.5 all day. Anyway.
Okay.
What are you taking?
Yeah, no, I'll go Jags 6.5.
Oh, you going Jags 6.5?
Yeah.
All right. Next game, is it?
Next game, Bills at Ravens. Bills are plus 3.5, Ravens are minus 3.5.
Bills, Ravens. Who's taking this one?
I've taken this one. I reckon this is gonna probably be a better game to watch than the Eagles-Jags game. I think this might be the game of the week. It's not just because the Bills are playing. I think it's the Ravens have the offense as well to like just make it a bit of slugfest, as we've seen before. I guess it's kind of the same as what happened last week with the Dolphins. They've both got really solid offenses in terms of how they've played. And again, a lot of it comes down to how well Josh Allen does and their offense does. And it's like, as long as he can kind of connect with Diggs, and like Diggs has been doing fantastic, to the point where the Bills probably should have won that last game. But again, the Ravens been solid all season. Their run game's picking up a lot. Their pass game's better than it was last year, and they're able to like flex it up a bit more instead of just relying on just Lamar Jackson. But then again, if you look at the defense of the Bills, that's going to be what I think makes the difference, because I think they can get through to the Ravens offense side. So Bills plus 3.5.
Bills plus 3.5. Kiefer.
I am going to go Ravens.
Oh, sorry. So on this one, Bills are minus 3.5. I fucked
Bills.
it up. I put both 3.
Okay.
But
Bills are minus
Bills are
3.5.
minus 3.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I
yeah.
meant.
Yeah. Reed does this whole take. I'm going to go Ravens on this one. Lamar Jackson is the best version of Lamar Jackson that we've seen so far. It's absolutely nuts. Their team is playing like they're all trying to get that contract Lamar's trying to get. They're doing really well. The Bills are the Bills. They're really, really fucking good. They're everyone's favourite to be in the Super Bowl at the moment. But I don't know. I'm just going for the Ravens on this one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. My thing here is that obviously Lamar Jackson, we've all said what we need to say about Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews. But they allowed 4 sacks last week against whoever they played against. I can't remember.
Okay.
But so they allowed 4 sacks against who?
Patriots.
Yeah, 4 sacks against Patriots. So don't get me wrong, Patriots have a decent defense, but nowhere near as good as the Bills' defense. So I think the Bills' defense could maybe get to Lamar more and contain him more than last week, and then as other teams should be. But I want to stop talking about Ravens here. I don't care what the Ravens have or what they don't have or what they can do. Bills. I know last week I said they're going to go unbeaten the rest of the season. And it obviously didn't happen. But it should have. They should have won that game. How much do you want Josh Allen to do? 400 yards, 0 interceptions. They were 11 out of 18 on third downs. They had double the time of possession of the Dolphins. The Bills should have won. It's a fact. They should have. They are not losing another game the rest of the season.
Oh no, you're going to jinx them again.
They are so strong. I think a couple things went the wrong way.
If it happens this week.
Definitely. Bills by a million on this. Bills by a million.
Yeah, the Bills by a million thing seems to be a common phrase that has popped up the times they've lost. So, last week being one of them, and it might happen again.
No chance. Bills all day.
As much as it's just said I would take the Bills as well, I almost want to go the other way just for a laugh. But no,
Well, that's what I've
stick
done.
with you.
That's what I've done.
You can take it.
That's what I've done.
Take it.
Okay, cool. Next game. Cardinals at Panthers. Cardinals +2. Panthers are -2.
No. Oh wait, yes. Sorry, that's the reason I got so confused is because I had to do what they would take when I was doing this, and when I went to send you the odds and send you these notes, I had to go back and check. There is no way that I believed the Cardinals were +2. They're saying the Cardinals are underdogs against the Panthers. Panthers 48% completion last year with Baker Mayfield. He threw for 170 yards. He's not the guy. He's last in QB rating of all QBs this season. I am not impressed at all. Chris McCaffrey's Chris McCaffrey. They beat the Saints when, they really, I don't know, what a shit game that was. How were the Panthers -2? Cardinals, I'm still not convinced on them. Not completely convinced, but Kyler Murray's Kyler Murray. He looks good. They can't get much of a run game going, and I think Connor was out last week. I don't know if he's back this week. But the thing is, they've also had tough opponents. They've had some tough matchups all 3 of the games so far. I think this is absolutely criminal that Cardinals are +2 underdogs. I'm taking Cardinals all day here.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely insane. I'm going Cardinals all day as well. Not much more to be said. Baker is not the guy. Don't really like Carter though either. You see his comments that he said about his team?
No.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
I thought you were going to elaborate on the comments.
I'll have to look them up. Hold on.
It's alright.
Cardinals, I think they've got a solid enough defense to stop the Panthers, even though, the Panthers can't get much going anyway, so, Panthers +2 is, I agree, it doesn't really make much sense,
Yeah.
but that's what I'd go for.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Just so what Kyler said is to his team, I told you guys have to be awake when you play with me, no matter what the play is. I have free reign to do whatever, so when you sleep and you don't think you're getting the ball, you can't play like that. It keeps going. But
I guess that's why there were so many drop balls last week, is because Kyler was
Well,
just doing his own thing.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I kind of fair enough, man. If he's running around, extending a play, doing everything he can to keep this team alive, and guys think the play's dead, or they think that
True,
they
true.
stopped running their route because their car had to scramble. Run a new route, make yourself open.
No, that is a really good point, and I'll think about that when I message Tom Brady.
Okay, yeah, you do that.
Maybe I should DM Kyler instead.
Next game.
Next game is the Broncos at the Raiders. Broncos, you have which way? Sorry.
So Raiders are -2.5 favorites.
Cool.
And Broncos are +2.5 underdogs.
There we go.
I want to start with this.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
What are the Broncos this year? The Broncos were slated when we went in to be like a contender
Yeah, I say
for a
every
Super
week.
Bowl. Yeah, I think we'll be saying this every week till the end of the season. I mean, that last game that they played, we all fell asleep in. Legitimately fell asleep
Yeah, I
in.
did fall asleep.
Comfy couch.
A real comfy couch. And yes, Russ started cooking at the...
The last the last minute,
It was
2
right
minutes,
at the
some
end.
shit.
Yeah, it was right at the end. But, I mean, it's a 9:25 game on a Monday. That's perfect sleeping hour. And I think that's how the Broncos are going to be for this next game as well. Raiders? What the fuck are the Raiders doing?
Man, I don't know.
We're another contender. We're coming into this year. You're like, okay, probably not a Super Bowl contender, but
They look
they're
good.
definitely going to
Yeah,
playoffs.
yeah.
And then they paid all this money, and they're not even using the man that they put the money towards. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's the thing I don't get.
absolutely baffling. I don't like either of these teams, and oh man,
The last 7 teams that have gone 0-3 at the start of the season have not made the playoffs.
Yeah.
yeah. I do. The sad thing
Will
about
that continue?
the thing about this
Probably.
is I'm going to go for the Broncos because at least I can see the Broncos starting to warm up. Like Russ has entered the kitchen and he might have started perusing the pantry
Yeah.
for ingredients to cook.
I mean, I agree. I think this is just a matter of what team is going to show up. They're both teams that should be doing way better. Both teams that at any game could wake up and start doing well. I don't understand. They're not using Devontae Adams well on the Raiders team. They need to be getting the ball more.
It's not even using him well, just
Josh
not
Jacobs
using
has
him.
been playing subpar.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs was doing great. Derek Carr just looks okay.
Renfro's injured?
Renfro's injured.
Yeah.
He might be back. I don't
Yeah.
know. But they just don't look great. But then again, Broncos, same thing again. Like you said, they're a team that should be doing a lot better. I'm scared that I'm going to take the Raiders here. I'm going to take the Raiders at
Okay.
-2. But I'm scared that the Broncos are going to do shit. Or one day, one of these games, they're going to wake up and do really well, and we'll be like, oh, that's what we've been waiting for. So I'm going next week. I'll bet on the Broncos, and then they'll go back to doing shit. I'm just so scared of the Broncos.
Yeah.
I just don't like them at all. I'm too scared.
Have you been hurt by Russell Wilson?
I'm
once
staying
before?
away. I'm staying away from the
Yes,
Broncos.
as a Seahawks fan, he's been hurt before. I'm going to go for the Raiders as well. They've got too solid a team to be doing as shit as they have. But yeah, again, it's betting against tough opponents, so that's why I'm going to go the Raiders.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
fair enough.
I'll take the lead on the next one because
Yeah.
it is my boys against the injured Patriots.
So that's Pats at Packers, and you are looking at a watch time of 9:25 on Monday.
Indeed. The odds are -9.5 Packers and Pats +9.5 underdogs. We'll start off with the Packers. Rodgers looks good, but yeah, he's Aaron Rodgers. So unless he has an absolutely abysmal game, which doesn't happen that often, is an issue. On the other side, there's no Mac Jones. He's supposed ankle injury, but I don't think anything's been officially released yet about it.
It is an ankle injury. They haven't released how severe. They haven't said whether he's going to need
Yeah.
surgery or not.
Yeah.
So
I reckon
he's definitely out a few games at least.
Yeah, there's been rumours that it's like a tendon issue, so I reckon it's going to be quite a few games. Rodgers warming up to his wide receivers, so the attack's getting a lot more. It's been more 50-50 play calling in terms of run game and pass game. And they've only led one sack this week because Elton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari are back. Even though David Bakhtiari came back to the sideline for a little bit. But again, the solid defense controlled the game against the Bucs. And if that defense didn't step up, the Bucs would have won. So I think against a struggling Patriots without their top receivers, it's going to be very one-sided, I think. So this might be a blowout towards the Packers, and that's why I'm going to take the Packers at -9.5.
Yeah, I'll jump in there because Patriots are my guys. Losing Mac Jones has made the Patriots go from a team that was interesting to just another team in the NFL. It's super disappointing. They didn't look too great against in their last couple games. And anything that was great in that last game was kind of because of a Mac Jones scramble or run. He kind of did some cool stuff. He also then threw some weird interceptions too. But yeah, it's unfortunately it's Packers all day on this one.
I don't know. I disagree with what you said at the end there. I don't think I think they looked pretty decent against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, to be honest. When you look at who they're playing with, like the offense of Lamar and they actually look pretty decent. But without Mac, would it be different?
To their defense, though, wouldn't it?
What was that?
That's solely down to their defense, I think. I don't know.
They're still trying to warm up.
I agree.
Offense.
But I'm saying I don't think they looked as bad as Keeper thinks they didn't look well. I don't know.
He's just depressed.
Okay. He is. I think without Mac, it may be a different story.
Are you saying Brian Hoyer's not going to carry them to the Super Bowl?
I don't think he can do it. No Mac Jones, no win. I'm going with Packers.
Yeah.
What's next game, Keith?
Next game, you have the Chiefs at the Buccaneers, and that's your 1:20 game on Monday.
Who's got this one?
No one has it, but I can jump in there. This game should be really, really interesting from the perspective of it was the Super Bowl contenders, right? Like they've played a Super Bowl against each other. But with the amount of injuries in the Bucs, not really sure who's coming back. And the Chiefs are looking pretty solid. They're not as solid as they used to be, for sure. I think this goes to the Chiefs.
So Chiefs are a -1.5, so the favourites, but just a little bit.
Yeah. And that's probably as much as I'd give them as well.
Yeah, right. I agree. I think Mahomes definitely got shut down last week. That Jags defense was just really good, and I don't think it was a matter of Mahomes looking bad, but he only had 57% completion, and he was the leading rusher of that team as well.
Yeah.
They can't really get much going on the rush side of the ball. They haven't really this entire season, not just that game. 57% completion. He's definitely going to bounce back. I think he definitely will. But
I think that as the team plays as well, like it seems to be a lack of communication. It's not the Patrick to Tyreek show anymore. I think they're struggling to kind of make things work with their new receivers.
Yeah,
but
I agree. But
as they play, they will.
On the side of the Bucs, I think they didn't have the weapons last week. Obviously, if they had Evans, and Evans is obviously back this week. If they had Evans last week, would that game go differently? I think it maybe might have.
Yeah.
I think definitely might have. It was a game of defense last week. I really think it was. With Evans back, Godwin might be back. And once again, never bet against Brady, so I'm taking
Except
Brady.
Last week, definitely bet against Brady because they lost last week.
I said they almost didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were scared there for a little while.
If they'd had that fourth time out.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
when it came down to it, you know what happened at the end of that game? So it was that 2-point conversion, right?
Yeah.
The Jumbotron, who was in charge of the Jumbotron, saw they had a shot of the play callers on the sideline, and it showed someone like them calling the mouthing out to understand Mike, and like Rodgers read like their mouth and saw what they were saying and changed the play.
Oh,
so as bad as ref ballers, imagine Jumbotron operator ball.
Up, man.
That's wild.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm gonna change my lock.
Big
Well,
brain.
not my lock. I'm gonna change the Bucks in now.
You changed the Bucs.
Change the Bucks.
Okay. Cool. Great. What do you want to do?
I'm going to go with Chiefs. I think it's too close, and I reckon Kelsey will be able to step up this week because he hasn't really stepped up as much as he normally does.
He's too busy podcasting.
He's too busy podcasting with his brother, yeah.
Yeah. Good
but
podcast.
I reckon the Chiefs will come back this week.
Nice.
Alrighty. Next game.
I've got this one.
Yep.
It's the 49ers and Rams. 49ers favoured at -2.5.
It's your Tuesday game at 1:15.
Yep, and the Rams underdogs at +2.5, which I don't know about that one. I don't know about the odds on that one. last week I was expecting to see a lot more out of Jimmy G coming back in.
Yeah.
I thought he would be able to slot in back a lot better, and that game was kind of dead the entire time.
It was a boring fucking
It was
game.
very boring.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a game of like defenses. It was a game of shit offenses.
Yeah, it was just a lot of three and outs, and like
Yeah.
it wasn't even on the defensive side of the ball that it was just like too good
On
to.
the 3 and out thing, 49ers went 1 for 10 on third downs last week.
No disrespect to special teams, but they were the most interesting
Yeah.
part of
Oh,
that
yeah.
game, and that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, no, so that worries me a bit. So to be honest, that's why I'd go for the Rams. They've struggled throughout the year, but I think the Cooper Cup factor is there. The defense stepped up. It's just overall, I think the Rams are going to perform better than the 49ers in terms of them being underdogs. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I think Rams have this. Yes, they haven't been playing as good as the Rams that won the Super Bowl, but they're still good. So, 49ers, that was almost the first time Jimmy G was getting reps with the team. He wasn't able to train with them in the off-season.
Yeah.
So I think they'll warm up. I just don't think this is the game they do that warm-up.
Yeah, you're right. I think 49ers just look okay at the moment. They don't look special. They don't look great. I'm not too impressed with anything they've done yet. I know also they've got a injured linebacker and their left tackle.
Yeah,
So I really don't think the 49ers are going to be doing too much. Rams, their defense stepped up against the Cardinals. They really did. They played really well. And the offense did too. They were averaging 7.4 yards a play and 14 yards per pass. So barely any kind of like small check downs or when Stafford was taking shots and completing passes, they were good completions and down the field. So I think Cooper Kupp too strong. Like I said last week, I'm also taking the Rams plus 2.5 here.
Nice.
And that's the week.
And that is the week
Wow.
of football. So let's round this podcast out, if you're still here. Guess it's time to put the money where the mouth is.
Yep.
And we should probably do our locks of the week. So you were the best of last week, so you can start it.
Right, so maximum of 3 locks, right?
Yeah, max of 3 locks.
Doesn't matter. Only taking 2. I think there's good value here. Cardinals plus 2 against the Panthers. I think Cardinals are going to win this, let alone give me the point start. Hell yeah, I'll take that. Cardinals plus 2, and my other one, actually maybe another one that people might not take. I'm taking Giants minus 3.5 against the Bears. That's my other lock. I think there's great value there.
Yeah.
Those are my two
There you
of the week. Yeah.
Yep.
Right, I'm going to also take 2, and I'm going to go with one safe and one a bit more risky. So my first one I think is a safe one is Rams plus 2.5 over the Niners.
Okay.
As I've said before, I just think they've got a better overall team, so I think that's going to be a good lock. And the other one that I'm going to lock, which I think's risky, but I reckon could be an interesting watch, would be Colts over Titans.
Nice, yeah, That is a real risky one. Real good though. So those 2 are kind of ones that I want to lock up. I want to lock up the Rams 49ers. That was my first lock. And then I might go the grey way, do a bit of a risky one, and I'm going to go for Chargers Texans.
You're taking the Chargers minus 5.5.
Yeah.
That's your lock over the Texans.
Yeah, lock over the Texans. Yeah, as much as we reckon they were beat up, I still think they're gonna do it to them.
Sure.
Yeah, so that's the locks of the week.
Anything else we want to talk about before we
That's a
leave?
lock of the week. Wow.
There's a lock of the week. No, I feel like
That's it.
that's it. It's week 3, baby. Happy football. Well, it's week 4.
Yeah.
Week 4.
Ah, fuck. We're flying through the season.
Yeah. Also, another lock of the week quickly. Oklahoma State to beat Baylor.
Hey, very nice. Oh, and Londoners, enjoy your game.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Bye.
Bye.